Welcome back to the Lisbon Sessions with David Russell of New Frontiers as he continues his journey to bring you insights on the Portugal Golden Visa from experts across Europe.
Hi, morning everybody, and welcome to another glorious edition of the Lisbon Sessions. I've taken the sessions on tour slightly today. We are 40 minutes, I think, south of Lisbon.
West of Lisbon.
In a beautiful left of Lisbon, in a beautiful little seaside town which you must visit called Cascais. If you're coming to examine Portugal and kick the tires, come to Cascais. I'm joined by, I would say, the queen of the golden visa, shall we say, Ilana van Huyssteen-Meyer.
It's just because you can't pronounce my whole surname, but I'll take the crown. It's Ilana van Huyssteen, which is Dutch Afrikaans, Meyer, which is German, but also Afrikaans.
We'll just go with Ilana, is how I know and love you. Right, and so we've got the queen of the golden visa. Now, Ilana is so uniquely placed, everyone, to give us a bit of an insight into the history of the golden visa. I would say Ilana's probably been responsible for assisting, probably as an individual, more successful golden visa applications than anybody, and has successfully assisted for many years. So I think at this point, the golden visa, what do we actually film here? The Lisbon Sessions. We can talk a little bit about the history of the golden visa, how it's evolved, what your experience has been like over the years, just to give people watching at home a bit of an insight into this effectively wonderful residency by investment program.
Great.
Ilana, welcome to the Lisbon Sessions.
Thanks, David. Glad you brought it on the road. This is my beautiful hometown, Cascais. I've lived here for the last.
I know. Let's just pan. Will we pan out slightly? I mean, look at where we are, people. It's not too bad a job filming this for YouTube.
We understand why people want to move here and come and spend some time here. I've so often over the years had people visit many parts of Portugal, and then they arrive in Cascais and they say, "Finally, we found the place where we want to live." Of course, with the golden visa, so many of our clients don't actually relocate, right? That's the beauty of the Portugal program, and has been for many years. It's one of the very few programs in the world where you can obtain residency and not disrupt your home life, continue to follow your career, have the kids in school where they are, but ultimately still qualify to apply for citizenship. So although it's a fabulous place to move to, a lot of our clients choose not to relocate, and that's why they apply for the Portugal program rather than Italy, or when Spain used to exist, or the Greek program, which all requires relocation. So it's a very good program for people that don't want to relocate. And for us, it's not just about the CMVM regulation, but it's also about the funds being qualified and suited for golden visa investment. So there's a lot of things that people have to consider when they make this investment.
It must be exhausting. I'm glad I'm on this side, and that's why they need people like yourself.
It's fabulous.
To help them.
I love it because there's so many different funds, and I'm sure you find as well that the people that end up investing in your fund are people that have a very specific interest in renewable energy. And a lot of them do a lot of homework before they choose to invest with you. So why is your fund different? Because there are other new energy or renewable energy or clean energy or green funds.
Now I get to do my sales pitch.
There we go.
Well, we've got a very good team, Ilana. I mean, I'm delighted that we've got an international team. Noel Shannon, who heads up, is the CEO of Shannon Energy, who are our main originator. They originate our projects, years and years of experience. But the Portuguese government as well is incredibly positive towards renewable energy. So they've passed a number of decrees, which are all available at, that's the first tour bus of the day coming past.
Let's take a little walk before it gets too busy. We can walk along the marina.
Absolutely. Well, you'll get a better view, people. So yeah, we've got a year's track record, but if you look at Noel, the CEO of Shannon, and their pedigree, they've got 25 years of experience in solar energy. So I would say the depth of our team is significant. Their track record out with the fund, but clearly it's a little bit like and a lot of funds are the same, guys, out there. You've got track record out with the fund, so you've got people with serious pedigree coming together. It's a little bit like a football, soccer team that are necessarily played for different teams over the years, coming together in one kind of championship winning team. You ask if they've got a track record. Well, they do individually, but as a collective, maybe they've only been playing together in that team for a year or so, and that's effectively quite similar to to what we're doing at New Frontiers. But as I said, we've returned 10% last year to investors, and we are delighted with that, and we're on track for that as well in 2025. So that's my sales pitch, and that's not what the Lisbon Sessions is about. We like to waffle and show people nice views. But as I've said before on the sessions, it's an honest, clever, thought out program, the Golden Visa. The Portuguese government has determined asset classes, areas of the economy, areas of agriculture, renewable energy, that it wants to attract monies into, and it's a deal. It's a fair deal. You invest 500,000 into these predetermined asset classes. You keep it there for 5 years. You get to keep as much profit as those funds make you. The funds are regulated by CMVM. At the end, you get your money back plus any profits, and you get your Golden Visa. And Portugal as a country benefits dramatically from it. So I think everybody wins. I think out of all the programs, it's fair.
It is a win-win.
We've come out, everybody. We've come out to the sort of end of the jetty. It is a wee bit blowy. Thankfully, we've got the furry microphones on, but it is a little bit windy. So hopefully you can hear us fine. Ilana, we're having a good session. We're covering all topics in this Lisbon Sessions. I think this will definitely be 2 at least episodes. Let's touch on the other programs out there. Obviously, you have different countries. How are you finding why are people gravitating potentially to Portugal? What are they discounting maybe about other programs?
I think if you look at the different options that's available in Europe, now that Malta has lost the citizenship program, for the moment they are reviewing, and hopefully we'll have a version 3 of the citizenship program. But there is no direct route to citizenship available in Europe. So all the programs we have at the moment are residency programs.
Okay.
And it depends on what people are looking for, and it depends on how old people's kids are. It depends on how much capital they have to deploy. So if you have a family with older kids, for instance, that can no longer qualify with them in one application under the Golden Visa, and all they're looking for is a plan B, safety net, knowing that they welcome somewhere else in the world, then they would often settle for Malta permanent residency, because that is the only residency program in Europe where you can make an application and you are granted permanent residency, which means residency for life. So sometimes that works, and you can include adult children that are students and that are dependent on you. So that works for some people.
Okay.
Spain, the Spanish Golden Visa program is now closed. The Italian Golden Visa program is picking up steam. And that depends on whether people actually want to live there. So for people who want to relocate, if they're willing to relocate and live in Italy and make Italy their home, I mean, what an awful idea, right?
Terrible.
Like, how terrible to consider that. Then you can invest in Italy, also €500,000 investment. But you ultimately have to live there to earn your right to apply for citizenship. Greece has a fantastic residency program. It's a 5-year renewable residency program. You can invest in real estate, 250, 400,000, 800,000, different categories, different areas. And you can include your family members there. But it's very, very difficult to obtain citizenship. Even if you move there, you have to speak fluent Greek, pass the citizenship test in Greek, right? So there's a reason why we say that sounds like Greek. So in the history of the program, nobody's ever applied for citizenship. So it's a great residency program, but it doesn't lead to citizenship. Then we get back to the why are you doing this? If you are doing this investment because you want to obtain citizenship in Europe, or you want to become eligible for citizenship, then we're right back to Portugal. So we often go in circles and we talk about all the programs, but if people's ultimate goal is to obtain citizenship in Europe because they want that access for their families, and often for the next generation. Often parents will do this and say to me, I've got no intention of leaving. I've got a fabulous network here. I have my job. I have my life. I have my friends, my neighbors, my elderly parents. They don't want to move, but they're doing this for their kids. And after 5 years of submitting your application, provided that you have your A2 language certificate, I have mine. Yes, it was hard.
There we go, fancy.
You can apply for citizenship. That takes another 18 months to 2 years. But ultimately, you can obtain European citizenship without actually having to move here and live here permanently. And that's what's attractive to people. So it depends on people's motivations. What do you want? How old are the kids? How much money do you want to spend? And then we find the solution.
People, if you have any questions after this whirlwind through the Golden Visa, I would be amazed. I would be astonished. We're going to pop Ilana's details up, but I think that is potentially the most thorough sessions we've had. I'm exhausted, okay? I need a coffee. Ilana, thank you so much for appearing on the Lisbon Sessions. You got to come back on season 3.
You're welcome.
Thanks very much for watching.